One of the advantages that a lot of young men have today is the internet. What I've been noticing, especially on social media, is we got a whole lot of grifters. Grifters in women's spaces, grifters in men's spaces, selling bullshit. Like these bullshit ass game coaches, dudes that have been married for the last 20, 25 years on the internet. Buy my course, sign up for my Patreon, pay me XYZ amount of money. Don't get me wrong. There's some men that really need some coaching. That's why I always recommend my brother, the Kosher Clinician. He's a real certified therapist, because I think the problem is not game, it's self-esteem. You don't value yourself. You've been living in a gynocracy. You've been having your self-esteem beaten into the ground, your masculinity attacked. They've been attacking masculinity in this country for the past 70 years, just crushing dudes' self-esteem, making them more feminine, trying to redefine masculinity as toxic. You're living in that toxic environment. Many men were raised to be purely simps, to be raised as disposable tampon, to raise to serve a gynocracy. That shit has to be reprogrammed. You need a professional therapist to do that. A masculine therapist, not some liberal, progressive, simp, weak. You need to be, your whole DNA has to be reprogrammed, where you see yourself as a value. You have to get rid of altruism. All that shit has to be fixed. Some nerd on the internet or some goofy guy that... See, the thing about life is this. You see, remember Dr. Cheyenne Bryan, right? Remember the interview she had with Paul Pierce? When Paul Pierce asked her about her personal life. And that's what revealed her goofiness. I mean, she's basically a lesbian. And to be honest with you, I'm not... allegedly. But when he asked her about her personal life and what she's doing and how she's moving, then the fraud came out. Most of these dudes, see, I can make a video. I'm about to go in the gym right now, okay? See, this is my car. This car is 2012. What would it take for me to go rent me a $100 and something thousand Mercedes Benz or whatever else, or some expensive vehicle and jump in it, right? I could easily fraudulently do that. Or I could go hire a couple of 304s and start a podcast and then hit them with intellectual, argue them down and all that goofy ass shit. Why would the hell would I want to be raising your cortisol level? Listen to that stupid shit, talking to chicken heads all day long. Or that rage baiting, get your emotions all riled up. Because at the end of the day, only thing that really matters is outcome. If you're not getting the outcome that you want, what the fuck is all that? You don't say have conversations after conversations after conversation. The new male therapist is the new thing now. These women don't give a rat's ass. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to have sex with who they're going to have sex with. At the end of the day, if you're not getting the outcome that you want, what does it matter? It's like politics. You vote for whoever the hell you want to vote for. If every day you punching that same clock, doing them same 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and you're not getting any outcome, what does it matter who's in power? You're not getting what you want. And it's like that with everything else. If you're not getting the outcome that you want, it's like these women. They listen to all these gurus and all these. You're not getting shit outcome. It's like a dog chasing his tail. You know? And these guys sitting around, and guys be sitting in these cars with dark shades on and shit. He won't show his eyes. You know why he won't show his eyes? He won't show his eyes because he's a fucking scammer. That's why they won't show their eyes. Eyes is the gateway to the soul. They won't show their eyes because man, look, even when I used to work, years ago when I used to work police work, I used to tell the young dudes, when you step up on that fucking block, don't be wearing them dark ass shade. Because dudes can smell your inner bitch. Look people in the eye, have a conversation with them, treat them with respect and dignity. People are people. People are human beings. You know what I mean? You get the energy you give. You show respect, look them in the eyes, have a conversation. You walk around with no dark shades. What are you scared of? You look scared. You look like you don't belong. You go down them blocks and you shoot the shit respectfully. So when you come back, people know you ain't there to be messing with them. You gotta have these situations. We have these non-authentic people because after they make the video, they go back to their real life. Because the internet doesn't require receipt. Your game coach, show me your game in the real world in 2025 with real world modern women, especially some of these ones that have monetized themselves. And most of these dudes will be out here getting cooked, roasted, filleted, grilled. I see them all the time on podcasts. Some Keisha crashes out on them, throws something at them, or go flips out on them because they're selling garbage, shit that don't apply in 2025. You better have some leverage. You better have some option. You better be on your masculinity, and you better be prepared to rock out and roll alone. And you're only dealing with the 5% women in 2025. The 5% women. That's all you're gonna get out here. Most everything is modern. Women are modern. Most women are into the internet. Social media is here. We're dealing with insanity and we're dealing with delusion. It's man versus insanity and delusion. We're dealing with a low self-esteem epidemic with men, the absence of strong masculine father. We're dealing with this bullshit. And we got so many fraudulent dudes taking advantage of this. You know, what I want to recommend for young bucks or anybody who just needs to refresh their masculinity or their game, listen to Patrice. Go get the reruns of Patrice O'Neal. Patrice O'Neal, I actually respect because he really gets into female nature on an animalistic level. And he deals with man's self-esteem on an animalistic level. I mean, you know, very intelligent brother. Man, it's so sad that he passed away, man. Because I think he would be great in 2025, especially for some of the young brothers out here. Because right now we got the internet nerds. We got the, the fake ballers, the dudes calling you broken a loser, but they still on the internet begging you for money. We got them dudes. We got all kinds of goofy dudes out here. Because the reality is, I agree with a guy like CGA. He hit it on the nail. It is a monetized dating relationship market. For the guys that women don't see as their preference, they try to get that money on the back end. I mean, the guy who's coming over at 11 o'clock at night, smashing them, he ain't paying no damn money for these broads. They just really trying. See, the thing about these standards and all, this is why I say, when women have their standards, it's entertainment. They're still sexually active. They're sleeping with somebody. The guy who's smashing them and having sex with them, he don't have any of those standards that women be asking for. That's why I listen to them and don't never challenge women on their standards. If they want a guy making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, you just nod your head. Yeah, you're gonna get him, girl. Go out there and get him. Let these wild horses run free. Once you understand that women are delusional, women are crazy, let them run free. You understand female nature. Don't try to correct that shit. At the end of the day, outcome is what tells the story about life. We can want whatever we want, but you're gonna get what you're gonna get. That's what's going to happen. The market's going to determine what you're going to get. You walk around you all day long, floating in the sky. That's why I don't even process that on that level. So, but I always want to give the brother free information. Go listen for all the reruns of Patrice O'Neal. Listen to that. But don't just listen to it. Listen to that and then indoctrinate some of the thinking. Not all of it. Everybody's not perfect. Some guys have information that is useful. Some guys don't. But you can get a lot of free information. But you have to also be doing the work on yourself. Because everything stops and starts with you. It stops and starts with you. If you're not putting in the time, putting in the work into your own self-development, into the things that benefit to you, the things that matter to you, your life. You're just adding a woman to what you already got going on. So if you don't have that woman anymore, shit, it is what it is. Get another one. Your life is not centered around women. You know, I know we talk about women a lot. Women are important. Women are important. But you got other shit going on in your life too. But what I see now, it's because there's such a vacuum and a void that we see a lot of people come into these spaces that don't know what the heck, or either selling you theory. But when you examine their life in general, they don't live that life they talking about. Half of these dudes been married for 20, 25 years. They're not out here on the Serengeti talking to women, today's women. Not saying that some of them wouldn't be successful, but many of them don't. They're not out here. They're not out here dealing with today's modern women. Most of these women out there, some of these dudes that we go up to them and whatever, the women be laughing in their faces, man. It'd be comedy. All this weird stuff, half of this is just metrosexual behavior, weird, bizarre behavior. Like dudes spend too much time in the mirror. If you spend more time in the mirror than a woman, shit, you're certainly not going to get no respect from no woman. That gives off that bitch energy. Not that a man shouldn't be squared away and take care of himself. You should be squared away. But we end up with a bunch of dudes now that just spend more time in the mirror than women, peacocking for some. Most of the women they be peacocking for be straight up chicken heads, man. But this is where we've come in 2025. And that's why I said we need to do a rewind, go back to that old school stuff. And that's why I recommend Patrice O'Neal. I mean, very, very sad passing, man. Good brother in terms of the game he was given out here. That game is legendary in terms of understanding female nature, learning and how to move. I mean, unfortunately, he passed away too early, man. But anyhow, peace and blessings to you guys, young brothers, and all of us. Sometimes you got to go and rewind that content and watch it. It's on the internet. The internet is a blessing in terms of that. So peace and blessing. I'm about to hit the gym. I'm out.